Justin Bieber had a post the other day on his Instagram talking about all the drugs that he did when he was younger and how much it fucked him up. And now he's got a relationship with the Lord, and he's married, and he's trying to be a normal person.
Yeah.
But he's struggling with the fact that he was insanely famous when he was a kid.
Diddy bought his son a Bentley. Maybe, he could buy you one also while you're
He
out.
got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah, I know. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
So check this out, yo. Justin, you ever seen the movie 48 Hours? Right now, he's having 48 hours with Diddy, him and his boy. They're having the times of their lives, where we hanging out and what we doing. We can't really disclose, but it's definitely a 15-year-old's dream. I have been given custody of him. He signed to Usher.
I'm signed to Usher.
I had legal guardianship of Usher when he did his first album. I did Usher's first album. I don't have legal guardianship of him, but for the next 48 hours, he's with me.
So many horrific accusations, involving young singers, children.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
It's insane.
He makes R. Kelly look like a decent guy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
It is crazy.
Diddy just watched the walls begin to crumble, and there is no quick fix this time. The world has finally seen the hidden clips, the guarded emails, and the private testimony. His once unbreakable image now looks like thin glass under a bright spotlight, and every crack is spreading faster than he can patch it. Imagine building an empire on charm, hits, and hard hustle, only to discover that the very empire is the loudest witness against you. That is Diddy's nightmare today. For decades, he flashed diamonds, hosted star-studded celebrations, and spoke about lifting others up. But now, one by one, the same voices he said he helped are describing a totally different story. A story about pressure, power plays, and calculated silence. The turning point was not a court filing or a press release. It was a short, shaky video that leaked online late one night. 15 minutes of hallway footage, no music, no editing, just raw surveillance, staff members pacing in formation, doors locking behind guests, and a nervous radio call for heartbeat reset, whatever that means. Viewers felt a chill because it looked less like a party and more like a rehearsal for control. Within hours, Joe Rogan pressed play on his podcast and spoke what many others whispered. This was no normal gathering. His commentary spread to every social feed, magnifying the clip and multiplying its reach. Brands that once fought to be seen next to Diddy suddenly dropped their sponsorship banners. Journalists who hesitated now pushed full investigations. The old protective shield, fame, had cracked wide open. As reporters pieced together timelines, a clear pattern emerged. Younger artists recalled tight contracts, late-night phone calls, and promises of fast success if they kept close. Some claimed they were separated from longtime managers for mentorship weekends that felt more like isolation drills. The common thread, consent granted under pressure and questions, answered only with "trust the process." Financial experts then followed the money. They found shell companies renting entire estates for one-night events, payments routed through third-party accounts, and sudden cash withdrawals that lined up with those gatherings. On paper, it all looked legal, but step back and the picture felt shady. Why wrap simple parties in such complicated paperwork? The answer, according to insiders, was secrecy. If guests complained, there was no direct line to trace. If staff talked, contracts threatened ruinous penalties. But secrecy only works until evidence escapes. Bieber's hallway video was the first domino. More followed: a security guard's text log, a driver's GPS history, a digital receipt for blackout drapes delivered hours before guests arrived. Each crumb added weight to the growing claims of manipulation. With pressure mounting, Diddy tried the classic response: control the narrative. First came motivational posts about resilience, then polished interviews repeating the same line, "I only spread love." Yet every time he repeated the phrase, another leaked document landed on social media, and the contrast grew sharper. His words sounded rehearsed, the evidence looked unfiltered. Meanwhile, the court system shifted into high gear. Prosecutors requested server backups and entrance logs, lawyers filed motions to unseal guest lists. Witnesses once reluctant to speak felt a new wave of courage, encouraged by public support and the promise of protection. One industry veteran remarked that the silence tax has gone up. Staying quiet now costs your reputation. Public opinion is a fast-moving river. When the first allegations surfaced years ago, many fans chose the easier path of disbelief. Diddy was a hitmaker, a business genius, a symbol of hustle. But the river has now changed direction. Comment sections flood with followers asking how they missed the signs. Former collaborators who once praised him delete their old shout-outs. The shift is almost mathematical. Every new fact subtracts another ounce of trust. Yet, the biggest blow came from inside his own circle. A longtime marketing executive resigned, posting a single sentence that echoed across the internet. Integrity is worth more than access. That message, simple and calm, did more damage than 1,000 fiery tweets. It suggested that even insiders who benefited from his success could no longer justify the cost of staying. As the stack of evidence rises, analysts predict a multi-layered fallout. First, civil suits from guests who claim emotional injury. Second, contract disputes from artists who feel their careers were stunted by impossible demands. Third, potential criminal cases if prosecutors confirm threats or forced silence. Each layer is heavy on its own. Together, they could crush any remaining brand value. Fans ask, how did we get here? The answer lies in distraction. Flashy outfits, catchy slogans, and viral dances kept everyone looking away from the contracts, the waivers, and the hush clauses. When the beat is loud enough, it masks a warning whistle. But once the music stops, the whistle is all you hear. Some defenders argue that big personalities inspire tall tales. They claim the footage is out of context, the emails are fake, the texts are jokes. But digital forensics is a stubborn field. Metadata shows timestamps, GPS pins reveal routes, and servers keep backups even years later. Context can soften tone, but it cannot erase coordinates. The larger conversation now moves beyond one man. Commentators compare the scandal to historical moments when an industry faced its own reflection and saw the cost of unchecked power. They recall film studios of the golden age, sports leagues before athlete protections, and tech giants before privacy laws. Patterns repeat until someone breaks them. For new artists on the rise, the lesson is clear: success without safety is a trap. If a mentor demands silence, that is not mentorship. If a contract hides behind jargon, push for clarity. The old playbook of pay your dues and don't rock the boat is losing its grip. Transparency is the new bargaining chip, and fans reward it with loyalty. Diddy's legal team, according to sources, is preparing a long defense. Highlight charity work, point to decades of awards, and question the motives of accusers. Yet reputation is not a resume, it is a live scoreboard. Charity galas do not cancel controlling behavior. Awards do not erase discomfort. The scoreboard updates with every new reveal, and right now the score is not in his favor. Interestingly, this scandal has united unlikely voices. Competing podcasters share data, rival labels compare notes, and fans from different music genres connect in comment threads. Collective outrage can be messy, but it exposes truth faster than isolated anger. When enough people shine small flashlights, even the darkest room becomes visible. Corporate partners watch these developments with calculators in hand. Insurance premiums rise, endorsement deals pause, and tour sponsorships disappear. A single headline about manipulation can cost more than an entire marketing campaign earns. For businesses, the equation is simple. Risk must not outweigh reward. Behind closed doors, executives brainstorm rebranding strategies. Some suggest public apologies, others hint at quiet retirements, yet neither option works without accountability. Audiences today understand the difference between regret and responsibility. A statement that says mistakes were made rings hollow without active change. So what would accountability look like? First, open cooperation with investigators. No sealed records, no hidden clauses. Second, direct restitution to those who experience harm. not just donations to unrelated causes. Third, industry-wide safeguards, clear codes of conduct, anonymous reporting lines, and transparent contracts. True healing requires systematic change, not just one headline. Diddy always branded himself as a visionary, a trendsetter who saw the future before others. Ironically, the real future may be shaped by those who expose him. Justin Bieber's decision to share that hallway video already changed legal precedent. Social media evidence triggered official action within days. Future whistleblowers now have a roadmap. Meanwhile, creators who once admired Diddy face a choice. They can double down on nostalgia or embrace the discomfort of growth. Some will cling to the old narrative because it feels safe. Others will write new songs, produce new stories, and build new spaces where power is shared, not hoarded. Teachers in music schools are already adjusting lesson plans, where once they highlighted Diddy's hustle as a case study, they now discuss informed consent, fair contracts, and mental health. Success stories must include cautionary tales or they risk becoming scripts for repeated harm. Mental health advocates also weigh in. They remind the public that healing is slow and non-linear. Bieber's journey from overwhelmed teen to courageous adult proves that speaking out can be terrifying yet freeing. Support networks, therapy, and faith helped him rebuild. Viewers who identify with his struggle might find hope in that narrative and seek help for themselves. Journalists keep searching for the next piece of proof. Rumor has it that more audio files exist, stored on a cloud drive once synced to a forgotten tablet. Digital footprints rarely vanish, and every device is a potential witness. The lesson is simple: actions leave echoes. Diddy's own social feeds grow quieter each day. Gone are the confident live streams. In their place, pre-recorded clips with cautious language appear, each one met with thousands of skeptical comments. Silence used to project mystery. Now it signals evasiveness. The legal calendar shows key dates ahead, evidence review, preliminary hearings, and potential deposition deadlines. Each date is a step closer to transparency, and each step carries the weight of public attention. Cameras may not be allowed in the courtroom, but live stream updates will keep audiences informed in real time. Behind every headline are individuals who once just wanted to make music, dance, or network. They did not sign up for mind games or isolation. Their courage to speak now drives the narrative forward. They remind us that accountability is not revenge. It is a path to healthier communities. If Diddy hopes for redemption, it must start with facing facts instead of rewriting them. Legacy is not set in stone, it changes with each decision. The next statement he releases could either open a door to amends or lock him inside a fortress of denial. As viewers, we have power too. We choose what content to share, what voices to amplify, and what behavior to normalize. A single click can spread truth or bury it. Staying curious, checking sources, and supporting ethical creators turns passive watching into active engagement. Music bloggers, once focused on chart positions and wardrobe choices, now publish explainers on contract law and artist rights. This pivot signals a cultural shift. Gossip alone is out, accountability is in. Readers reward these efforts with record engagement numbers, proving audiences crave substance over spin. Community leaders in cities where Diddy once funded youth programs grapple with mixed feelings. They benefited from donations, but now fear the narrative surrounding those funds. Many are launching independent audits to ensure transparency. Their stance is clear: gratitude does not cancel scrutiny. Former employees describe a culture of constant performance. Apparently, every hallway had a camera, every meeting an NDA, every casual chat a potential loyalty test. This climate bred fear, not inspiration, and explains why so few people spoke earlier. A healthy workplace should cultivate creativity, not caution. Psychologists analyzing the scandal note a broader lesson about power. When success becomes a shield, empathy can erode. Experts recommend regular third-party reviews and peer feedback loops for high-profile leaders, ensuring that admiration never mutates into unchecked authority. Educational nonprofits seize the moment, offering workshops on digital literacy. They teach teenagers how to verify claims, identify deep fakes, and recognize manipulation tactics. Empowered fans become watchdogs, reducing the likelihood of future cover-ups across all industries. Record labels draft new clauses focusing on wellness benchmarks, mandatory days off, mental health resources, and clear exit paths from mentorship agreements. Lawyers predict these reforms will ripple outward, influencing sports, film, and tech contracts within a few years. Documentary filmmakers race to secure interviews, but many survivors request controlled settings. No sensational reenactments, no dramatic music. They want facts first. Viewers fatigued by shock value welcome this grounded approach, indicating a maturing taste for ethical storytelling. Activists urge fans to keep the same energy for lesser-known artists who lack Bieber's platform. Public pressure should not fade once the headline star is safe. The ultimate goal is an ecosystem where every voice matters, regardless of fame or follower count. Finally, industry veterans reflect on history. They recall earlier eras when major scandals forced reforms that seemed impossible at the time. Those reforms became standard practice. Today feels similar. Outrage, if guided wisely, can carve a path to lasting improvement, turning a painful chapter into a safer future for all creatives. The melody of truth may start as a single whistleblower, but when enough people join, it becomes a chorus that no amount of money or charisma can mute. Diddy's ongoing saga is a reminder that character, not catchphrases, sustains legacy. The coming months will reveal whether he embraces transparency or watches opportunity fade. Social media researchers note a dramatic shift in hashtag patterns. Tags praising Diddy have dropped sharply, replaced by calls for clarity, fairness, and mental health advocacy. This real-time data shows how quickly public trust can evaporate when credible information surfaces. It also shows the collective strength of viewers who refuse to remain passive. Before we close, remember this is not just a celebrity headline. It is a mirror held up to any system where influence outpaces accountability. If fans can insist on truth from a global superstar, they can insist on truth from local leaders, brands, and even their own workplaces. Transparency is contagious. Once it spreads, it rarely fades away. So the story does not end with a verdict or a settlement. It continues every time someone chooses honesty over whispers, safety over spectacle, and respect over unchecked ambition. Keep asking questions, keep sharing facts, and keep the light on. Because a brighter industry begins with viewers who demand nothing less.